Ew. Amy, what you doing? What are you doing, Amy?
Hey, sorry, I was trying to turn the microphone on. I'm driving home from an appointment.
Where was your appointment?
It was actually in Gonzales, so I'm close to home.
Yes. Okay. So I had to pivot in life now that right now that you're here, but you gotta do your check-in. Why you not didn't do your check-in? This is your check-in.
I'm gonna send this is my check-in, and I took pictures this week. Like I did stuff. I just didn't send it yet.
Good, good, good. That's step one. Good. Okay. How do you feel?
And and my family is at dinner right now, and I told them I wasn't coming to meet them. I was driving home, and I was gonna eat at home. So
Okay. Well, that's good and bad, or not good and bad, but that's good in the fact that you stuck to you, and but ultimately, as long as it didn't, there's no
oh
bad
no, they
blood.
were gonna they were just gonna order me something to go because they my showing went later than I planned. And so but normally I would have just told them to get me something to go and eat at home, but I'm just gonna eat what I'm gonna eat better at home.
Well, good. I'm excited. I'm ready for you to get on with everything 100%. How's your movement been?
Good, much better. I still need to do my workout when I get home, but I did go walk at the track this morning to get my steps, to get a jump start on my steps. So my steps are good for today. My water's been good today.
Have
And
you
then I'm
been
going to
going
do
to
a
that?
workout whenever I get home.
Have you done that early class?
So,
Been doing that early class?
I usually do Tuesday through Saturday. I haven't been going on Mondays.
Okay. Okay. So eventually we're gonna have you doing bodybuilding style training, right?
Yes.
That's the goal. Okay, good. Because we might talk about that today. Did you get a chance to read through the worksheet or
Yeah,
listen?
I did look through it. I looked over it a little bit earlier. I need to spend more time on it, but I did glance through it earlier.
Okay, did you get a chance to listen to the first one that's on my that we had?
Yes, and I've
You did.
listened to that one. It was very good,
Okay, awesome.
and
So
it was a lot of things that I needed to hear or that I was already thinking and just needed to hear
good,
that other people thought the same way.
good. Well, I was on the wrong um Zoom a few minutes ago. So hopefully I'm about to text everybody and say, get on the call because I was on the wrong one, but that doesn't surprise me. Okay, but I do want to hear about what you specifically took away from that you felt you were alone in, but you realized you weren't.
Okay, yeah, and it was oh that
I'm
must be my
listening.
message um going off. Um, a lot with just the self talk because I can be super critical, but like just talking about anytime you have that negative thought to go and find something that you like and that you're happy with, about yourself, and kind of just to kind of replace and not focus so much on the things that we want to change, that there's lots of
Okay.
good stuff too.
Yes, yes. And that's the biggest thing is I always the most bare minimum thing that I want y'all all to remember is that if you have a thought, every other woman in the world has had the same thought. Like you're
Hmm.
not alone in that at all. Even, and like I said, in that the first one, even top athletes that y'all look up to, they think that they need to get leaner and they aren't lean enough, they aren't good enough, and all these negative things. And it's literally mind blowing whenever I'm looking at this as a big picture and I'm like, wait a minute, all my girls, they saying the same damn thing that you saying, and so that
Yeah.
was very eye-opening for me to be able to tell y'all, okay, we got to narrow down the focus of we got to stop picking ourselves apart because you're gonna pick it apart and then you're gonna get to your goal and you're gonna pick it apart again and you're gonna get to and there's a balance between that being a good thing. That's how you become successful. You did that, Amy, with your business that you have. Like you were
Yeah.
never satisfied. It's the same thing, but we self-sabotage. You can't, you're not gonna there, it's harder to self-sabotage your business because there is no, you're not going to, right? That's my way of living. That's how I provide for my kids. So if you think about that all in the same, with the same mindset, that helps me eliminate options, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Whenever you just say, you know what, I'm committed to this, I am going all in on this, and that's the only option I'm giving myself.
right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, okay. Hey y'all, what's up? Hey Leela, hey Sierra, hey Kirsten. Okay, Amy, we're gonna keep talking, but you can keep listening. I know you're driving. There's a couple of
Okay.
y'all driving. But I'm glad that we talked, and you can keep talking whenever as we go on. But we're gonna move
Okay.
to the second. Did anybody get to look at the Google Doc with the questions? Yeah. Okay. This one, I think. What did Kirsten say? I'm not good at. Okay, you're just listening. Perfect. Perfect. The Tiara. I wonder where to take her. Is she okay?
I do not know. I'll text her.
Okay. I thought I'd just text her. I got on the wrong Zoom call earlier, so I was like, I hope that they didn't get on, and then I was off. Okay. Yes, the first call that we had was a really good call. So if you were on it, thank you for being there. If you're on this one, thank you. Let's keep growing. I'm so pumped. So, Tiara, did you get to go through the worksheet?
I had pulled it up and I had started reading it, and then my husband was like, "What are you reading?" And then I told him, and then I just like,
No,
so yes and no.
that's let's maybe it's because we're just doing this together, really. Maybe I'll just go through the questions. Like I'll send it to y'all if you have time, perfect, and then we'll just go through the questions. I think that would probably be good anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just do that. And I'll tell y'all, obviously, all my examples. How often, number one, how often do you think about food throughout the day? That is a question that, yeah, hey, Taylor, there you are. That is a question that talk about energy, right? Energy, mental energy, physical energy. That's the biggest reason that I asked this question. How often do you think about food throughout the day? And anyone can say anything, and y'all can say nothing if y'all don't want. But know that for most people, it's literally all day long, and they call it food noise. And how much would y'all say that you think about food, whether it's what will fit my macros or what can I eat that will fit my macros or any of those thoughts? How much would you say, whether it be now or at the beginning, if there's a difference, compare them?
I would say at the beginning of like when I started working with you, it was constant because I was just trying to figure out like how macro, well, I knew like a general idea of macros, but I was still also like going through food scarcity and like wanting to like binge and things like that. But now on a regular day-to-day basis, I don't think I think about it at all. Like to be completely honest, just because I'm so like
Focus.
in like yeah, I'm in like my I call it my flow state right now. Like I'm in my flow state of like I have everything already prepped and ready to go. Today I would probably say I thought about it a little bit more just because like I'm running out of my well, I'm coming to the end of like the prepped meals that I've had for the past few days. So now
Mhm.
like I had to put some forethought into what I'm gonna prep for tomorrow. But that was just that. It was just me
Right,
thinking about like, what am I prepping tomorrow? Am I going to keep the same proteins or am I going to swap them out for something similar because I'm tired of eating ground turkey, that kind of thing. So,
right.
I think at the beginning, I thought about it all the time, constantly, never ending story. But now I don't even think about it. It's just kind of like everything's already ready for me to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's huge. One, just Taylor, did you have something to say? So just food scarcity is one thing I want everyone to understand what that is. That means you are afraid that the food will run out. Like that Walmart will stop making marshmallow cream. So you're gonna eat it all right now. That's what food scarcity means. And that's a big, big, big real thing. A lot of things. The one thing that I want y'all to think about when you do, Leela, what would you say your mindset around food has changed a lot too since starting with me? What would you say your energy, when it comes to energy in that, what would you say?
I would say that I think about food a lot less right now. In the beginning, even though I'm still kind of in the beginning, I was like freaking out about food. Um,
Yeah,
and like before I started working with you, I was thinking about food all the time because I was concerned about my weight all the time and
right,
where I was at. But right now I feel pretty good because I found a grocery store that has like some basic things that I like. I feel in the last couple of weeks, actually, I've set, where am I going? Okay. Uh, yeah, in the last couple of weeks, I've found food that has like enough fiber and like low fat and it's low carb, and I've found things that are working. Um, and so yeah, right now I just when I open the fridge, I kind of just have an idea of the same
right.
ingredients I'm gonna put for a meal, and it doesn't get too complex.
Good. And so one thing with that, and I'm writing all these notes down. I need to chill out because we're gonna have, well, this is gonna be a big series, but the confidence with knowledge, that's one thing I want you to think about. Like if when you have that anxiety, if you think about every time y'all started anything, but with it here, you didn't know what macros were. You didn't know how to track them, you know how to hit them, you didn't know what macros were in what food. So that is what drove the anxiety. So when I start to get anxious, my first question is, one, are you scared of something? Or do you just not know the outcome of something? Because if you're scared, that's one thing. That means you're putting yourself in a situation you probably shouldn't be putting yourself in. But if you just don't know something, then okay, that's more realistic. And for me, that really helps my anxiety literally go away. Because if I don't know something, I can't help that. I just can learn it and I can be patient enough to learn it. Or I'm going to be not patient enough to learn it and I'm going to be in the same damn spot in a month or 2 months or 2 years, whatever, you know? So the lack of knowledge, and then that applies no matter how long you are. So Leela, like now you know the foods, you know how to like track macros, all of y'all, and now you just trust yourself, literally, to wake up, whether you have a plan or not, you know better. That's the key. Like you that self-trust. Self-trust is what's going to help every part of this because every part of this journey, because you literally just, I know when I leave this house, no matter what my options are, I'm going to either choose the best options from what I got, or I'm going to choose to not eat any of the options in this kind of like random example. But yes, the more knowledge you have, the more confidence you build to where you're like Tiara, like meal prepping, and then that is what eases your mind. It's not just I've been tracking macros. It's the knowledge and experience that you've gained that has given you that trust to just to not have anxiety. Does that make sense? And then with the something I put down here, time boundaries. When Tiara, you were saying something, when it comes down to the, and I did this when I was at the restaurant because I was working literally. I get up at 4 a.m. and I'd be home at 11 o'clock every day for like 2 years, 2.5 years. If I did not have the energy, mental space to change my meal plan, without anxiety, then I was not going to change it. That was the hard boundary. Like if you have to think about this more than 2 seconds, and you don't want to because you'd rather spend that energy on sleep than just literally eat the same thing. That's it. Right. So having these hard boundaries on yourself, and I still do that today. Like I don't change my meal plan at all, and unless I want to. That's the biggest key. And that's the biggest thing with flexible dieting is that once you, because people are like, I don't want to eat the same thing every day. Well, it's because you don't like what you're eating. So if you liked what you're eating, like Leela, you found foods that you like to eat and you fit them into your macros. You can probably eat that shit every day for the rest of your life. And guess what? You can. And still have the health and body that you want, you know? Um, so time, scarcity, and then the energy. The one other thing that is very helped me very much in the beginning. Am I bored? And so like when I go, am I bored? Is that why the food noise is here? So whenever you feel hungry, I want you to ask yourself, am I hungry or am I mentally hungry or am I physically hungry? Physically hungry, you would eat a can of sardines. Mental hunger, you're not going to eat a can of sardines. Like that's the simplest way to put it. So if you say I'm hungry, say, would you eat a can of sardines? If your answer is yes, we could talk about something else. But for the most part, everybody's answer is going to be, nah, I don't want no damn sardines. Okay, well, then you're not really that hungry. You're mentally hungry. You're probably just bored. So let's literally just find something to do for 10 minutes. Set a timer, 10 minutes, because that's why people have so much food noise, because they don't have nothing else up there to make noise. Does that make sense? So like when people say, I'm too busy to eat, perfect. That's great. That's because your mind is so busy that you don't think about food. So we can take that and we can use it and apply it, but you can't do it and apply it and make yourself never eat, because it make, like my dad, he's like, I eat once a day. Well, that's horrible. That's horrible for you. But he's like, I'm so busy. I know you probably all have heard people be like, I'm so busy, I don't remember to eat. You don't need to remember to eat. You got to know to eat. How else you gonna survive? It just is what it is. Like, it's not, we ain't fairies over here, you know? So that really just helps, again, these questions that I ask myself to help me do, quote unquote, the right thing by me. Taylor, do you have anything to say about that as far as food thoughts? Because you've been here pretty long.
Yeah, I would agree with what Kira said as far as like my personal experience is that like in the beginning I like overthought food and thought like I had thoughts about food a lot, whereas like now I literally only think about it when I'm like grocery shopping to do my meal plan. And
Yeah.
I have probably been eating the same food for like probably since I started working with you, honestly. Like I've
Yeah.
had the same lunch and supper, and I just like sprinkle in variations when like I want
Yeah.
to, but it's not even a thought anymore.
Yeah. Do you feel like you can notice, obviously now you're pretty well into it, but like notice the difference in Lila? I guess you would be a good, even Tara, be a good able to knew how much energy was I spending on that. Like that's a big thing when I talk to my friends about like
Oh, yeah.
how much energy do you spend, not just on food, but changing clothes that you don't fit in, or like looking at yourself in the mirror 100 million times, pick yourself apart. Like how much time are you wasting? How much energy are you wasting? What if you just looked at the mirror and said, I love what I look like. Could I look better? Yep, I could. So I'm going to do this, but I still love what I look like, right? That's the goal.
Yeah, the only reason I really changed anything up for like protein wise or just like little bits here and there is because I had the time and the mental bandwidth to do it.
Yes.
Like I was
Yes.
at the pool relaxing and I was just scrolling, like putting in my grocery order. And then I was on my fitness pal and I was kind of doing the calculations, but it's because
The space.
I had the brain space to do that. Because had you asked me to do that yesterday, I would have been like, absolutely not. I'm sticking with what I have. But because today I had a more low key day, um,
Yes.
I was able to take the time to do that and it not stress me out.
Yes. That's big in itself, to just be aware of, all right, one, I can do this. I can change it when I have the bandwidth. That's the best word you ever said. Just the mental bandwidth. People understand that you can only have so much up here. Amy, I hope you're listening to this, because you have a lot up here in this brain, all your clients, all your people, all you trying to do all the things, but you only have so much space up there, and you will forget about yourself. Not you, Amy, but women will forget about themselves simply because they have everybody else in their bandwidth, and they eliminate themselves from their own bandwidth, right? We're going to not do that. So, and the one other thing I wanted to just say this, because I hope that hits home, because all of y'all are saying it. But, and if you look back, this is going to be one of the reflection worksheets I make for y'all. So y'all try to do this over the next couple weeks. But if you look back at everything you've been successful with, business, Lila, your business, Amy, your business, everybody's job, like careers, everything, this health journey, when you first start, you go 120% in. I'm all in. And so like when I was 2013, so I was obsessed and obsessed with macros and tracking macros from 2013 to 2016, 17, because I didn't have a coach. I didn't have nothing. And then the internet wasn't that was just coming out. Like just the science of macros and flexible diet was just coming out at that point. And people were like, "You're obsessed." Yes, I am. That didn't bother me. But looking back now, 13 years later, I had to be to get to the balanced place that I am today. You got to go all in. So whenever I do, and I'm thinking about this with y'all, the system that I'm building for y'all. When I first started building this check-in system, it was literally 10 different spreadsheets. Even Taylor, you don't even have, I sent you yours. Okay, Tiara, I sent yours. And then I sent her another one, like the next volume. And I already updated, and that was last week, another volume. But it's because I took everything I had for y'all, and then now there's narrowed it down to one tab. But you got to go all in. You got to be able to see it visually as big as you can, as large as you can, and then you can start simplifying. So it's literally the same concept in every area of life. Does that make sense? And when I finally recognized that in myself, then I stopped being hard on myself when it comes to things like not posting on social media, because this is how I grow my business, right? When I realized that you got to go all in on Instagram. Right now, I'm pretty much at the level of I'm going all in on TikTok to grow that. So does that make sense? Because you can't grow everything at one time. So I just want y'all to know that obsession is not a bad thing. You have to be obsessed.
I was gonna actually ask about the caveat to what we were talking about around obsession and like fixation on certain things, because I noticed like my food anxiety is not really as present as it was, but like I am definitely like looking for cool recipes a lot, and like because I like to cook. I'm not like I have the time to do it, and it like actually makes me feel really grounded because it's like a tangible activity. And so like I spend a lot of time like looking for different kinds of recipes that I can make, and I feel like it is kind of a fixation, but it doesn't feel like it's stressing me out. It feels like it's like a fun thing, because then I can like food prep and have a bunch of things that I like to eat because I spent the time researching cool recipes. And so it just, I also like, I'm a little bit on the spectrum. And so like when I get new fixations and new things to focus on, I get really like, I go all in a way that's can look like obsession.
And that's very normal too. And so I wouldn't even say, a lot of people, and I know Brooke, I don't think Brooke's on the phone, but her oldest, or I think her youngest maybe, is on the spectrum. And I don't find obsession over things, because I get the same way. But it's not because I get obsessed with things that I like. I get obsessed with things that I want to learn about. I get obsessed with things that are going to benefit me. That is not bad. If everybody in the world was obsessed, then everybody would be successful. Everybody would have what they want. So don't think that that's bad, first of all.
Yeah, I think there's like, I don't know, it's just making me think about like how there's like a shadow to obsession where it's like teetering in the addiction part.
Right.
But it seems like having healthy obsessions is like just a different side of the coin.
At the end of the day, that's a good example of just the example that there is a balanced place in every single part of life. Like even coming to that, there's a balanced place in how much TV you watch. There's a balanced place in how much social media, food you eat, blah, 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 all the things. There's a balance. With that, Leela, I would challenge when you get into that, because I get the same way. Like with this system, I've been tracking my bedtime for y'all so I can show y'all how unstructured I am right now, so that you know that is okay. It's not going to kill you. But the timers, like when you're like, I'm going to start looking up recipes, set a 20-minute timer. Like that forces you to stay aware. That way you should not get lost. That helps me tremendously when it comes to fixations, because I can get, I'm working till 3 a.m. and then I expect myself to get up and train at 7 a.m. That's not cool. you know? So these timers have been helping me so much with that. And if I intentionally choose to snooze it or to set it again, that's fine. But that helps me stay in that place of you're losing time because the little devil that you're feeling is not is just could you be doing something else more productive because you're not getting that outcome of the recipe right now. You know what I mean? So you kind of feel like you're not doing
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like I'm in the window of like overkill with scrolling for recipes.
Good.
But yeah, I see what you're saying about like if fixations become something that interrupts like other things you can be doing to optimize your time, like it's teetering in the addiction part.
Well, it's not even teetering. That's just the awareness that we want to bring. It's not teetering in the addiction part. It's more just we want to be aware of that so that it doesn't get to that point. You know, we just want to be aware of this. I really like to do this. I really, really, really like to do this because it benefits me. So I'm gonna do it every day for 30 minutes, you know. That just again the boundaries just help stay within that fixation place because we you want I want y'all to be obsessed shit I want y'all to be obsessed with you whatever that is as long as it benefits you be obsessed because that's where greatness is that's where everything becomes amazing but people will be like you're obsessed if I would have listened to them at the beginning people would say it all the time you damn right I'm obsessed. And even today, I don't know if y'all saw my TikTok today, people telling me because I got my nose pierced. It's really not even pierced. It's just I was just trying to figure out if I wanted it again to be pierced, so it's fake. But people are like, you having a midlife crisis. I'm like, yes, I the fuck am. Yes, I am. Sure I am. Sure the fuck I am. Midlife crisis holds my ear. Like, that's fine. Whatever you think, that's fine. Right. Um, so just make sure that if anything were to ever be like, you're obsessed, I want you to literally tell yourself, that's okay. That's okay. That's it. That's it. Okay. Next question. Does anybody else have anything to say about that topic? Leela, you watch the road.
I'm, oh, watching.
I just don't want you, Amy, you watch the road too. I can't see you, but y'all driving, watch the road. Okay. What emotions do you experience around food most often? And so this is, and I didn't have peace, calm, and no emotions on the list that I sent y'all, but some of the emotions are guilt, anxiety, control, stress, excitement, fear, confidence, shame, pride, overwhelm. And peace, calm, and no emotion is what I added today because that's the ultimate goal is we just want peace when it comes to food. And really, not even that, we just want no emotion to be attached to food. And I say that, you know, whenever Andy and I were married, when we would go out to eat or when we would go have a drink to celebrate my birthday, like when we were together, we were celebrating and everything was like all my boundaries were aligned. I had emotion of happiness because everything aligned and we were doing stuff that was fun. So definitely, I don't want you to have no emotion, but we want the emotion to be not connected to the food, but connected to the event and the people that are there with food. So does that make sense? So what would y'all, and this is kind of like a broad question, but what emotions do you experience the most around food most often? And where do you want to be with those emotions if they're not where you ultimately want them to be?
I think personally for me, like just a good example is yesterday I went over to my parents for Father's Day, right? Today's Monday. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was honestly a little anxious with eating my meal prep around my family, not because like I was like, oh man, I wish I could have that food, or I was worried I was gonna like just say, screw my meal plan, I'm gonna go for that. It was more so, I guess I was just anxious about what my mom is my mom. She can be judgmental as all mothers, I think, can be.
Mhm.
Um, and I think that's what it like bringing my meal out brought me a little bit of anxiety. But then I'll do it on the flip where it's like if I go out to dinner with like my husband or if I go out with like my really close friends, it's just a sense of like calm, I guess you could say, where
Mhm.
it's just like I don't have to worry about like I just don't have to worry about it because they know like that's just who I am and that's where I'm going with my life and it's what's best for me. So like they don't see it as an issue, whereas I think love my mother so much and I know she's trying to support me as best as she can, but I think she thinks it's more of like kind of going back to the obsession. She's thinking it's like a negative obsession.
Right.
Just because of like a past history that I've had with food. So um I think like I would like to work towards like not even that it's like I need to like change my mom's mind, but just not worrying about it as much, I guess.
Yeah. And I was in the same position. And to be honest with you, my mom didn't come around till I started 2013. She didn't, I swear, y'all, she didn't come around to like even believing what I was doing until like 2021. Like I
Hmm.
was well into it. And the one thing I explaining to your mom, this is what I told my mom. Would you rather me have the obsession of what I had, or would you rather me have this? That's it. Because it is very black and white. And I'm working towards the middle. I'm working, that's what I'm working towards, is to create that balance so that I can come over here and not have any anxiety, not fall off track, not do anything. Come over here, eat with y'all, and just go back home, just like everything. But my health is most important right now. My goals are more important right now than the balance that I will one day find. So that would be how I would approach it, as far as because that explains to your mom that right now, the knowledge I have and the bandwidth that I'm willing to put towards this right now, I don't have a lot of bandwidth. I'm on bare minimum bare bandwidth that maximizes my results because I have goals that can only be achieved by one thing, this, and that's it. And like it's really not even I think it's once you explain it in a sense of has nothing to do with weight or macros or right and wrong, good and bad. It's just there's one way to get to where I'm going, and I'm on that road. And after I get there, I might pivot and go on to the balance, trying to find balance. But shit, I might pivot and keep going. We don't know. We'll get there. When we get there, we're gonna figure it out. But just explaining to your mom so that you can feel that calmness all over. But then also she understands. Like that's the big thing. Parents, all of our parents came from a generation where food was not at all like it is today. And so the mindset of you got to eat is something that they have been 50, 60, 70, 80 years believing. So just imagine how much proof they need that this is actually working. Tiara, you're a perfect example. I'm eating food, mom, and losing all this weight. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So that's something else I just take into consideration, especially with my mom, because she's worked out every day since I was born. And she's very into health and fitness, but it's a little bit distorted. So I have to remember that when I'm coming across with knowledge I have, because I'm not right or wrong, and she's not right or wrong. It's just, it is what it is. This is a way that I'm going about it. If you want to do it, does it make sense? So it's not like you're telling your mom, this is the right thing to do. It's just the right thing to do by me. You don't
Yeah.
need to understand. That's okay.
Well, and like my dad's wildly supportive of bodybuilding. I don't know why. Like I grew up competitive Irish dancing. He was like, "Yay, good job, love that," etc. But then like as soon as I started running 5Ks when I was in my running girl era, he was super supportive. And then I'm back in I'm in bodybuilding now and he's just like full throttle, pedals to the metal, biggest supporter about it. And
That's
he was
nice.
like, "Chris, she's prepping for a competition. She is allowed to have what she had," like kind of like backed me up on it. So
Yeah.
it was
That's
nice to have
amazing.
that support. So it made me feel like, okay, cool. So, it just takes someone else maybe telling her, but
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
that was
awesome.
that.
And that's probably your dad's probably at one point. I would be curious if you asked him if he ever wanted to do a competition, if that was ever something that he wanted to do. Maybe you're living his dream.
Possibly. I just know
Yeah.
he's a huge fitness junkie. Like I credit a lot of the
Yeah.
habits and my love for working out to him.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Anyways, that was mine.
Yes. Yes. Does anybody else have any answers to that? The emotions experience. I felt a lot of, I'll answer, y'all answer it first and then I'll answer it in mine if y'all have any answers. And if not, no big deal at all. But I had a lot of, I wouldn't say guilt, but again, I don't know really if that's the right word. I had more anxieties about food, and it was more of just a control thing. Like anxiety is always going to be about control. If you don't know the outcome, if you don't know if you're going to be controlled, that's why I tell you how to control the controllable. If you can just control, if you just get down to that mindset, your anxieties go away. Excitement, stress, I think they're kind of all very, very similar. Anxiety, I think, is the best word word to kind of categorize these all in one. Guilt, shame and guilt. Obviously, again, we can apply this. We can pretty much apply every single question to life. If you ever feel shame and guilt, it's literally just a sign that you made the wrong decision or you didn't make the best decision that you knew that you know. Does that make sense? So, like, otherwise, you just don't know. Andy, he knew better. That's why he feels shame and guilt, right? If I'm trying to think of an example, but if I did something wrong that I wasn't aware of, so that's just an easy way to say, like, if you do feel guilt, if you do feel shame, because I think Jillian, I think she was on, she's coming on. She was just talking about how this weekend was her first time intuitively eating the whole weekend. And she said she felt no guilt and no shame. And that's literally just because she made good decisions. She didn't track, but she just made decisions that weren't bad, you know? So that's again, that's what gives you the peace and the calmness. Okay, does anybody else have anything to say right now? I was gonna go through, I think I'm gonna do one more question because it's 7:12. One more question, and then we'll just pick back up and maybe we all go through on the rest of it for next week. Or not next week, the week after. There was one.
So I just got home and Baba the dog like chewed a bunch of shit. So I am gonna go handle this.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop off.
Perfect.
Bye, guys.
Bye. I'll text you later.
Bye. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so this is another good question that I want you to again answer. All of y'all answer. If you and Taylor, I know I've said this to you before. If you reached your body goal tomorrow, what would change? What are you hoping that your goal body gives you that you do not have right now? And you don't have to answer that, but I want you to at least think about it. Amy, that's a big question for you. I want you to answer. You don't have to answer it now, but I want you to think about that. When you reach your dream body, what is going to change in your day-to-day actions or day-to-day not actions? Kirsten, this is another good one for you too. You don't have to answer, but just think about it over the next week. I would feel more confident. These are the examples. I would feel more confident. I would wear different clothes. I would stop hiding in pictures. I would feel worthy. I would date again. I would take more pictures. I would feel successful. And all of those are okay. Like all of those, but it's just the awareness is what I want y'all to bring to it, because then we can work on, all right, building confidence, like directly. I would wear different clothes. Okay, well, so does that make sense as to why that is such an important question? And again, what would you do? This is a good question to apply to everything. But is that it? Anybody have to say anything about that? That's like a question we don't need to have to talk about right now, but it is like you do need to dive into it. In every part of life though. Like, I mean, I remember, and Taylor, I'll let you talk in just a minute. Let me just say one more example. This is a different part of life. Andy, one time I was having anxiety about money. This is when I went all in on my coaching business, and I was crying one afternoon, and it was, how those tears you cry that you just like don't even know, they just coming out. You're not boohooing, you're just crying. I don't know why. He was like, "What are you crying for?" I was like, "I don't know." I said, "I don't know. I just crying about money." He said, "Well, what would you do? How much money do you need?" He said. I said, "I don't know." And he said, "Then how can you cry when you don't even know how much money you need?" And I was like, all right. And he was very, very good at that. Like he made me realize a lot of things like that. Like, okay, well, that's kind of stupid if I don't even know what my goal is. So why would I cry about not reaching my goal if I don't know what it is? So bringing that clarity. And then he said, all right, well, if I give you, so I said, this is later on that week, we were talking it through, and he goes, so I'll give you $40,000 right now. Would you stop crying? And I was like, no, then I feel more bad. Then I feel ashamed of that. And then, so the answer altogether was not when he asked, what would you do if you had more money? What would you do different? Where would you live? Would you live different? How'd you? And my answer was nothing. That's when he was like, all right, well, then I'll give you $40,000 if you shut the fuck up, pretty much what he said. And I was like, well, that's not gonna work either. So he didn't say it like that, but he was very good at that. And that made me realize a lot. But go ahead, Taylor. You tell your story.
Okay, so mini story time because you have asked me this before,
Yes.
and the answer I believe I gave was not a damn thing because why would I change anything that got me to where I was? If I woke up where I wanted to be, why would I change anything that got me there?
Right. And that's a hard pill to swallow when you say it, especially when you've gone through things. Like, I mean, I can apply that to my mindset right now, period. Like, I had to go through all this. I had to go through the last year of just shit to get to where I am right now and to get to where I'm going to be in 6 months. And for people, again, it's just be able to say that. That's a very much, I'm confident in who I am. I'm confident in where I've come from, and I'm confident where I'm going. Though I don't know where I'm going, I'll figure it out when I get there. But that's a huge mindset that I hope every one of y'all you get to. If you're not there yet, you're going to be. Tara, what you were saying?
That I was just gonna say when you asked that question, I was like, I didn't know if I know the answers aren't right or wrong, but I was like, is me saying I wouldn't change anything wrong? Because like I did actually a reflection this morning about like where I was 2 years ago compared to where I am now. And like objectively, yes, those were really difficult times that I had to deal with. And like being honest with myself was so hard, but like I would not change it for anything. Like
Right,
I had my mini breakdown this morning about posing and stuff and just trivial things, but like I wouldn't change where I'm at and when I get there, what happened before then
right,
for anything. Like, because I'm just so proud of all of that, if that
right.
makes any sense.
Yeah, well, you're really just proud of the outcome of what all of that brought you. And again, looking back, and I remember would tell Andy's, because so we were really close to Andy's ex-wife, Isabella's mom. Him, like they would come over and spend the night with us. We'd have family Christmas every year. And she could not comprehend how I could be so just, I loved her because without her, Andy would not have been the husband he was. One, I would not have Isabella. Two, and because of Isabella, I would not have the business I had, the body I had, the mind that I have today. So everything looking back all lines up to have had to happen to get where I was. And that's a very hard thing for her to comprehend. And she would pretty much ask me every single time we see each other, especially at Christmas. She'd be like, how are you just so okay with? And I'm like, because I'm so thankful for y'all. I'm so thankful for you who made Izzy, who made Andy, who he was. And so everything had to happen. And once you get to that mindset of everything had to happen in the order it happened in my life, in my husband's life, in my friend's life, then you become present and you're like, okay, well then I know I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be in life. And that is a confidence that you can't teach, to be honest with you. I can't coach that confidence. I can only help you reflect and you put the puzzle together and say, you know what, without me telling myself the truth, without me going through all these hard things, then I would not even know what I'd be doing or what I'd be looking like or anything like that. Amy, can you relate to this? You don't have to answer because if you're driving, but can you relate to this? All right, we're gonna keep going. But if you want to, you answer this. Um, does your confidence currently change depending on your what you see on the scale? And I'm gonna say probably so, but not as much as it used to. What would y'all say? I'm gonna say that would be probably most of y'all's answers. I'm just trying to answer and let you know that it's very normal to let your body drive your confidence.
I think in the moment, I'll be like, kind of like, "Ugh, darn, like it's literally like rats. And then I'm like, okay, we're moving on. Like, I
Yeah,
don't let it it's a fleeting moment for me now. Before it used to be this is taking over my entire day. I can't stop
Yeah,
thinking about it, like obsession in a negative way. But now I'm just kind of like, oh, well, there it is. And then I
yeah,
move on because that's not the end all be all. And we've worked so hard on that, just making
right.
sure that that's not what I focus on solely.
Because well, you prove again, going back to that self-trust, you've proven that this one, you've proven all the fluctuations are normal. But you see it. That's why I get y'all to track so much. Because if I can help y'all see the fluctuations are normal, how you control it, you can control the fluctuations as much as you can. And that going to what I'm trying to show y'all with my data is I do everything to the T. And I expect that at 13 years, when y'all at 13 years, I expect it from y'all too. And it still fluctuates up or down I'm up 6 pounds from last week doing everything perfect. So when you comprehend that, you're like, okay, so if I'm perfect on everything, the fluctuations are still there. So let me not be obsessed about the perfection rather than understanding of what I need to do to just make progress. And then watch the fluctuations and see what they do. Watch the emotions and see what they do. And put your puzzle together so that you can literally just go to sleep at night knowing that, okay, I did everything perfect. And that doesn't mean everything's perfect, but I did what I did and I wouldn't do something different.
Yeah.
Just one day at a time.
Like I just make sure if at the end of the night or like that morning when I do weigh myself, if I had checked off all my boxes, like my non-negotiables the day prior, and I hit what I needed to hit, that was the best I could have done. And I couldn't have asked for any more.
Yeah, that's huge. That's a huge mindset, especially as a woman, but as a competitor. Like I can't tell you how many times, and going to these shows even this past weekend, my first question is when these girls are all anxious. I just did you fuck up during prep? Because if you did, that's why you're anxious. There's nothing to be anxious about right now though, because you're here. You better be here. Be here mentally. There, you can't do nothing today that's gonna make anything better out there. So just stay present. Like stay present. Taylor, I know like I saw you be present. Like you can be like we are obsessed right now in prep. We're obsessed with the goal. But by the time you get to that goal, it's like, all right, here I am. Let me know how I did and let me get going on with the next thing you're gonna tell me to do because I know that's what I'm signing up for. I ain't signing up to win. I'm signing up for you to tell me where I can get better, which is what you do with me. Same thing, but you're doing it different in all these different areas, right?
100%. And I could go on forever about the scale and people's attachment to it. But if you think about it, it's literally just a number. It is
Right,
a data point. It does not tell you squat besides data, how
right,
much you woke up today. Like, it is a tiny box that you stand on the floor. Do not let the tiny box tell you how your day is going to go.
right. And I understand though. I mean, like, and we all understand that that's a point you get to in your journey. So I'm looking at Kirsten. No, you don't have to talk Kirsten, but I know her and I know Amy too. Both of y'all are about the same height. They're pretty short. And it gets the number because I was obsessed with the number until I became, and I'll be honest, Taylor, yeah, I'll be honest. My first ever real prep. I remember sending my pictures to Dylan and I was down 37 pounds in my reverse. And I had no idea. I had no idea that I was down 37 pounds. I was like, because I had not, all I was focused, my only focus was do what you're supposed to do every day. The outcome will be exactly what the outcome will be. That's it. That was my only focus. And that was a big realization for me because before that was 2021. Before that, I never let myself get over 155 pounds. Like that was because I was coaching myself over those first 8 years. That was like my max 155 in my reverse. That would be my kind of like, it wasn't my body was feeling good. It wasn't no other sign. It was that one sign. 155, we'll stop our reverse. We're going to start a cut. And looking back now, I mean, I got 2022, I got up to 174 confident as hell. I remember thinking when I was 174 that morning, I was like, oh, Gracie would have shit herself. But look how good you still got core, you still got glutes. Look at your glutes. Jesus. Like, so that was a big, again, realization. But what I do want y'all to take away is the timeline I just told you, 2013, 2021, 2022, right? Just that time. Not that that takes everyone that long, but the realizing that, all right, your body can weigh the same exact and look completely different. And that is your only focus. And when that is your only focus, the outcome will be what it's going to be, because your focus is going to only be on this specific things, the daily things, the daily decisions, you know? Does that make sense? Does anybody have anything else to say about that one topic? Or anybody have anything else to say? I guess we'll save the rest of the sheet for next time. But does anybody else have anything to say about our main topic? Like from last time, just body dysmorphia, any type of thoughts on confidence when it comes to food and self-worth and things that you saw maybe with people for the last couple weeks?
I did want to speak to one point on the scale is I have she's one of my best friends from work, and she is on her own health journey, and she's definitely like been working on making sure that the scale doesn't determine her day. And one of the things she noticed, and like one of the things I've been talking to her about, is like our hormones, because we're women, affect us so much with the scale fluctuations, that I was like, Kelly, you can't let that determine your mood for the whole day, or you will never be happy. Unless it's like that teeny tiny little window where like your body's like, I don't want to hold on to anything. I'm thin. I was like,
Right.
you don't want to do that to yourself. I was like, and I told her, I was like, if you're going to be this obsessed, and I gave her like, I love her. So I gave her some hard honesty. I was like, if you're going to be this obsessed, you need to put it away. I was like,
Yeah.
throw it away. I was like,
Yeah.
get rid of it and just focus on steps for right now. I was like, you can't overhaul your entire mindset and viewpoint on that in a day. Like, I've been on my journey for what? It's been a year with you. It was a year prior to that with
Right.
like mental health professional. Like,
Right.
it's one of those things where I was like, I've been doing this, and now, just now, the culmination of everything that I've been doing is starting to show. It's
Right.
like, you can't let the scale just lock you in and hold you down.
Right. And
I
that
was
just
just on
goes
that.
to date. Like, so first, you want to always be that friend, that honest, just be that. Like, people know that if I say something to them, I'm never going to sugarcoat them. People will call me just because Gracie's going to tell me the truth and I need to hear it. Be that person. Because that way, one, you eliminate a lot of bullshit from your life when you're that person, because nobody's going to come with you because you don't put up with no shit. But anyway, so always be that person and never feel bad about it, because that person will change people's life. The people that Andy has never been told the truth until he met me. And what he is living is the con of always being just told what he wants to hear. And I'm just being honest with you. That is so anyway, but going back to your what was I about to say? Oh, the scale. Wait, shit. I don't know it'll come back to me. Taylor, were you about to say something? Okay. Why did I forget
Well,
something?
on top of like just building off of that, like let's say you thought the scale was going to say this and it says like 5 pounds up or something, or not what you thought it was going to say. Okay, you checked all your boxes, you're still like, well, shit. Okay, how do you feel? Do you feel strong? Do you feel good? Do you like how do you feel? It's so much more than just this number.
Right.
How do you feel in your body? How confident do you feel? How strong are you? Do you have energy? Like maybe
Right.
you don't have any energy, but now you do, and like it's so much more than just a number on a box. And don't
Right. So it's like
your worth is not in the scale.
right. And even getting to, just so we can all relate to that, that's a level two. So it's like check the boxes. All right. Or let's just say the scale is up. I checked the boxes all day yesterday. So all those are right. Scale's still up. How do you feel? I feel good. Okay. Perfect. then we can go to the next box. What if you don't feel good? Like, what if you feel bloated? Like, what if you, so that's where, that's where the mindset parts have to, and you said it good, Tiara, as far as you're working on this over here and you're working on this over here, and you're working on this over here, food and training and mindset and life and marriage and career, all these you're working on them. And they're eventually all going to start coming together, but they're not going to, one's not going to outgrow, like you're not going to make progress overnight. I don't know whoever said that. And you know that, but you don't know how long it's going to take to get to the progress. All you know is that this is what's going to get to the progress, and this is what's not going to get to the progress. And then I'm just going to wake up and do it every day. That's it. And that's how all of a sudden I look down and I've lost 37 pounds and I'm like, what the fuck? That's where you live, instead of obsessing over because ultimately when you have anxiety about your physique goals, it's because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not checking in when you're supposed to check in. You're not doing what whoever or you said you were going to do to reach the goal that you want to reach. So then, do you really want to reach them? That'd be the question I'd ask, right? Because if you want something, then you're going to do whatever you have to do to get that something, no matter what, right? And that's where people get flipped around with obsession. That's fine, so it is a level of a place that you have to get to. And again, I'm thinking about Kirsten. She has so much muscle. She has so much muscle, y'all, on her little physique. Her little bitty, like 5 foot, I'm gonna say 5'4". She might be even shorter than that. And because of that, it's hard. It's just, and she's like, what, I think 12, maybe 12 weeks postpartum. But this is very normal. Like, the shorter you are, the less place body fat has to store, period. It is what it is. And the longer I am, the more room, right? But the scale gets to where it fucks with you, because you're like, God damn, especially when you're in Kirsten, because she has a lot of muscle. So for me to be like, you're losing inches, that's where the scale I have to, with her, perfect example. Look at your pictures, look at your clothes, look at all these other things, because the scale ain't gonna go nowhere. The scale is gonna be where it's gonna be for a little while, but that doesn't mean that your body is not changing. And that's a big, I think it's here. I think we were there at one point with you too, like where the scale didn't move, but every week we were like, wait, our everything looks different. That's what helps you get away from that scale, because you're like, oh, well, fuck that. I am making progress,
Yeah, I was just going to show you guys. I have been folding a bunch of clothes that I need to donate because they no longer fit me. And they just serve me no more joy, and I want them out of my house. So that's what I've been doing. That's how I'm measuring progress right now, amongst a bunch of other things.
Yeah, well, that's a damn good way to measure progress. Shit, like, because it is progress. And I know, Kirsten, I know you said something about like drinking once a month. Like, that's progress. And I remember when I was trying to stop drinking, this is 2011, I used to drink every day. From the time I woke up to the time I went to bed, like every day. You would never even know. It is what it is. And I remember I would write in my calendar I would be like 2 margaritas. And the only goal I had at the end of the week would be one less margarita. Not one less day drinking, not one less hour at the bar, just one less margarita. And it took me about 1.5 years to get to where I was consistently only doing what I wanted to do, like only drinking however many times I wanted to drink that week or that month. But just that adds up. But you want to go down to, that's how you measure progress. How many times did I do what I say I'm going to do? And how many times did I not do what I said that I don't want to do? Right? That's all progress. You just have to think of it that way. Okay. Does anybody have anything to say on this? Okay, competitors. I don't think there's only 2 of y'all left. Kirsten, though, might be competing. I know she's not. I know you're just listening, Kirsten, but she might do Summer Shred because she can win money, and she likes to win. She likes money, so everybody likes money. So maybe, what's up, little mama? Look, she's gonna do Summer Shred too. Hopefully, I'm not even lying, y'all. I went to Houston. Amy, we're kind of talking competitors. You might be a competitor too one day. But they did hit the winners from the just weekend, like last weekend show, won $5,000. I'm like, Taylor, what we doing over here in NPC? IBB, we ain't trying to follow. Yeah. So, Kirsten, but all y'all, we trying to make money and look good, as right, right. Everybody wants to make money and look good. So, yeah, I'm excited, Tira. Are you excited?
Sorry, my phone like was not working. I was like, anyone? Hello? Yeah, I am. I had like a little bit of a breakdown this morning when I was posing. I texted Taylor and was like, "Tell me I'm fine." And she was like, "You're fine. Get over it." I was like, "Okay." Um, where I just felt like I like that doubt creeped into my head where I was just like, I'm not going to be ready. But
Yeah.
also like one, who's to say that I'm not going to be ready? Like
Right.
the whole purpose of summer shredding based off of like what Christian has literally put out is it's not about perfection. It's about consistency and showing up for yourself. And so I found myself more than once comparing myself to just other competitors and stuff when in reality like that does me no good. And I've decided that every day I'm going to like take a solid chunk of time and not like be on my phone and
Mhm.
like compare social media and stuff because I want a mental break because we're what 5 weeks out.
Yeah, girl.
We're getting
Five
into the
weeks
nitty
out.
gritty, but it's good. It's a lot of like I'm in flow state right now. Like I'm
Yeah.
really truly just
And I can't wait till all of y'all and get around so more competitors, and you're gonna be like, whoa, I am way here mentally. Like these people, and that's one thing. So that makes your comparison. Right now, you are comparing yourself to people that you have no idea what they actually live. You're just comparing their highlights that they choose to show, right?
yeah.
And so when you get to these places, I remember I was like, and I probably told it, I thought I was going to be putting myself into a world where people was just like me, when that is opposite of everybody. They had that all they talk about on show day food. Where you going to eat? I ain't even thought about where I'm going to eat. I'm trying to win this medal over here. But
I had someone ask me, they're like, what do you
oh
want
yeah,
after? And I was like,
that is progress. So you
I
don't
don't
even know
know,
it.
maybe a cookie. I don't like, I was like, maybe a warm chocolate chip cookie. That's all I could think of. Like, cause everything else, like, I am enjoying what I'm eating. I'm enjoying what
You
I'm
just don't
doing. And
restrict.
this is one of the things that I also noticed. And I don't know if I've ever told you this, but like when Taylor and I were at the fashion show, seeing some of those girls and like some of them being in prep or just their mindsets around certain things, I was like, damn, we really lucked out with getting you as our coach and like
Yeah,
us getting all put together because some of these girls, I was like, oh, darling, you must be miserable.
yeah.
Like, oh, I'm
But
so
they
sorry.
they they think that this is, and that's something. Yeah, one, thank you for saying that because that makes me feel
You're
good.
welcome.
But like I remember, like, and these are pro athletes. They would be one of my friends who she had 3 hours programmed on the Stairmaster a day, a day. I'm like, first of all, that's why you single, because you ain't got time to do nothing else. Ain't got time to do nobody,
Ugh.
literally. But 3 hours, and then that's why I did that podcast. I don't know if you've ever listened to it, but Amy would be a good one to listen to, even if you're not a competitor. Discipline, the difference between, I think it's called discipline and desperate. Those people are desperate. You do 3 hours of cardio, 3 hours of Stairmaster, that is not discipline. That is desperate. And we are not desperate. We're going to do the bare minimum because we got life to build, and we're going to achieve the goals that our efforts give us. Right. And
Yeah.
so going into these shows, I'm excited because that's a big eye opener. That's where you see how much other areas of progress that you've made when you're around more women outside of our little group, because our little group, we all got the same mindset. Some of us are on different levels, but we still going to the same goal. Like we're trying. But you see these girls are eating 900 calories a day for 7 weeks. I met one girl the other day, 900 calories a day. I'm eating 900 calories in my breakfast in prep. Like that, when you see the extremes that these girls go to, you're gonna be like, all right, well, I can do this. She can do 3 hours on the Stairmaster. I can do 30, 40 minutes on the just treadmill, you know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? But I can't wait till y'all. Have you ever been to a show? Like, has everybody been to a show except obviously Amy, Kirsten, just a show to watch? I know y'all have. You have her little one. She's getting dressed for work. I don't think she's been to a show yet, though. Have you been to a show yet?
No, I went to the National Fit Show and then I just like didn't
Oh,
attend the show.
okay. Yes. So, yeah, the Nashville Fitz show. That's a good show too. But yeah,
It
so
was
I can't
fun.
wait.
Good vibes. Good vibes.
Yes, I can't wait till you get backstage too, just to see like, because y'all are hard on yourself, and I want you to never not be hard on yourself. But there's
Hmm.
a boundary between being hard and being realistic, and that's what this will help you find when you go backstage and you see all this shit that these girls are doing. You're like, that is not sustainable. So that look is not sustainable. What
Yeah.
I'm doing is sustainable, right? That's huge.
Well,
That's
and that was, sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
That's just one of the things that's really been getting me through stuff is just like I like to think like I'm training for life. Like
Right.
I want to be able to be 90 and be able to go on like brisk walks and not like have to worry about my hips and stuff. But
Yeah.
I also remember like this is obviously like some those girls put themselves into such dangerous lows and things where it's like I am not doing that. I'm doing it the way that is going to be best for me. And
Right.
there is truly no point in comparing what I'm doing to other girls, especially when you don't even know if they're natural or not. And
Yep.
you don't know their circumstances. And
Yes.
so, yeah, that's what's been that. And then Taylor being like, you're fine. It's
Yeah.
okay. And you being like, you're fine. It's okay. So,
That's a big, big, big thing. And even and so all of y'all, even whether you're a competitor or not, you don't know what the fuck these people are doing. They're doing Ozempic, they're taking shots to do whatever the shots are doing. They're taking PEDs on stage, wellness, big, big, big. So that alone, when you make a decision to compete in the NPC, not in the natural division, not in the natural competitor federation, you were making the decision to compete against people that could be doing all the drugs all the time. That it is what it is. So that alone should stop you right there. All right. Well, then therefore I'm not gonna just compare because I don't want to do that shit to myself. I don't want to make myself mad or sad or upset or anything. And even going to a natural show, that's still, I've researched just how long you have to be natural to be at a natural show, and there is not a long time. Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
I looked it up and I was like, oh, dang,
That's not a lot. It's
that's
not a
not a
long
long
time.
time. But hey, I got 8 years of deadlifts under my belt. I got some legs that I can build up. I'm good.
Yes. Well, just think about it this way. You got a lot of natural potential that you got to tap into before you get to even have to think about anything.
Yeah.
Literally.
And
Literally.
I've been having so much fun with it that like when I do have those bad days, I'm like, okay, feel it and then let it go. We're good.
Yeah. I journal. I know you journal, but ha, Taylor, have you gone through? I know where you at on the Becoming Her journal. I'm about to make another book for y'all, just a journal,
I'm
just an
only a
empty
few weeks
journal.
in.
Do what?
I'm only a couple weeks in.
No, that's good. How do you like it?
Oh, I
Where-
really like
How
it.
do you, yeah, is it deep?
It
Like
is, yeah. So like each question is like
it takes a long
a
time.
week.
Yes, I know. I know. That's why I was like, I don't want to call it 52 weeks, but anyway. But I'm about to make an actual just journal book for y'all to just empty pages. That yeah, and I do have the jersey ordered, first one. So hopefully it'll be here any day now. That's gonna be good because I found that. And then anyway, but I was gonna get you to journal when you're having what you call bad days. I would want to be curious, and all of y'all do this. What does a bad day look like to you? Like, what does bad mean to you? Because and that's where you build these boundaries that you're like, all right, well, because you don't ever want to have bad days. I don't ever have bad days. That don't mean days aren't kind of like not as fun as other days, right? But what are bad days? That just eliminating that one word has helped me mentally
Yeah.
get through a lot, actually.
I shouldn't even say bad days because again, like done so much of the mental work with you is like I want to say there are like just moments, like little just pockets in time where it's just like I just don't feel like who I know I am or like who I've been so consistently, I guess, because I really, really try not to let it affect my whole day because
Yep.
at the end of the day, like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Right. And Kirsten says she feels applicable right now. Literally everybody around us is using Ozempic, is shriveling up and just doing it the easy way. The biggest thing, oh, Jesus, Lord have mercy. The biggest thing, I've had that there's been some type of Ozempic throughout the last 13 years in my coaching bits, like as I've been a coach. It might not have been Ozempic, but it was something else. It was every time there's going to be every day, there's going to be something. Every year there's going to be something that somebody gets on. And what I've seen is that it's never sustainable. Because obviously it's never sustainable. And that's, so it's hard though and I say it's hard, I don't want it to be hard for y'all to say, I'm doing all this work over here and not losing as fast as this girl over here who's just taking shots and getting all the results. Like for you to stop comparing that, because at that point, that's where you say, all right, well, how do I want to do I want to take the drugs to make more muscle? Do I want to take the Ozempic shot to lose weight quicker? That goes back into more of an integrity thing, and that's just my personal journey. Like in 2021, when I finished my first season, my question to myself after I got my labs done and I had a 1 in testosterone was my testosterone was a 1. Testosterone in a woman needs to be at least 80, 70 would be like the lowest that you would want as a woman. I had a 1. It was literally. And so my decision was if I want to continue to pursue this career, the option is either get on something. Don't have to be a PED. It could be testosterone. It could be something, but testosterone is important when it comes to building muscle. You cannot build muscle efficiently. So everything else I'm doing efficiently, this one thing that I can only control a little bit of, do I want to pursue this? If I do, then the answer is not even a negotiation. The answer is you have to do something directly to affect this. Or you don't compete and you keep doing what you love and that's fine. And you can stay just doing what you're doing, right? So that whenever it comes down to trying to not like when you talk about people doing things, drugs or Ozempic, what's going to make you feel the best at the end of your energy is not getting wasted, I guess. Is that a good example? Because that was a big decision and that was a big outcome based decision that, to be honest with you, haven't even got to the outcome yet of ultimately what that decision did, right? So that was that. Okay, everybody, I know everybody's like probably tired. And so yeah, well, I'm gonna post this on YouTube and y'all catch up. And then I'll kind of like update this little sheet and we'll keep going. Cool. Anything y'all want to talk about next time specifically? Competitors, all y'all? Anything?
I would love to hear about peak week.
Okay. Well,
I mean, not right now,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
Like,
Let's
if you have a podcast, I think you might, or just tailor your thoughts. Like, I don't know. I just have questions. So maybe that could just be like a check in thing for me.
no, I mean,
Like, I can
we can talk some about it right now if you want to. Or
the work is done prior to peak week.
yeah.
Yeah.
Peak week, you just coast.
I
Everybody
have,
makes a big to do about peak week, I feel like on show day or like on social media. They're like, oh, peak week, peak week. The work's done before peak week.
and
Peak
so
week is just fill up and look.
maybe that's like what, and again, Gracie, we can talk about this in my check in. Like, that's something that I need to work on is because I've never competed before, obviously. But like all of the stuff that I've ever watched, they make it seem so bad. And I'm like, oh no, I'm a little worried about this. But then again, like, that's not their life is not mine.
Well, I mean, it's the same exact thing that you said earlier. Like, you don't know what they are doing, what's making it bad. Like, why are you comparing it to these specific people?
Yeah.
You don't know what they're doing. And that alone, so peak week is the same as any other week, literally. There's not any, I mean, like, So I'll give you everything that you're going to do. Your food is going to likely go up. The biggest thing that I like to do myself and with y'all is I like to peak you early so that like around week 3 weeks out, you're ready to go so that we can fuel, like start increasing food going into the show so that your body looks healthy. So all these girls that are in deficits, huge deficits usually, that don't approach that. And there's a lot of like sodium manipulation, water manipulation, diuretics, all that stuff we don't do. Like we do, it's not, I don't call it manipulation, but we control your water, we control your sodium, just like we do every other day, right? So that's, again, that part is where people, diuretics is another one where you'll, and so I'm actually going to start working on y'all's peak week updating everything this weekend or maybe next week. But the only thing that you're going to do different, which you're going to start doing at 2 or 3 weeks out, is time and digestion. So just how long does it take your body to digest? Listen to this, Olivia, same thing. How long? Because we want to know, because I'm going to give you a show day meal plan and I'm going to tell you exactly what time based on what time the show starts, what division you're in, what time I anticipate you going on stage for prejudging, what time I anticipate you going on stage for finals. And so does that kind of answer your question? You're not going to do anything different. In fact, you're going to be most likely eating more, doing less because we're bringing down inflammation. And that's it. Like the hard weeks are 12 to probably week 4, 4 weeks out to 12 weeks out. That's your grind time. That's the hardest part of prep. Once you get 3 weeks out, you should be just coasting. Like coasting, you're happy, you're here, you're healthy. That's the biggest thing. We got to have our skin's got to be healthy. They got to be full, water, all the things so that we don't look depleted and we don't look grainy, you know?
Do I have to take a shot the night before because I don't drink?
A shot? No. You don't
Okay.
have to take a shot the night before.
I've seen so many girls like use alcohol to help dry them out, and I was like,
I take a shot of Fireball before prejudging, but that's just one because I like Fireball, and two because the sodium does. I just don't take a shot of pickle juice or salt. I
I'll
just
do
use
pickle
that.
juice.
Yeah, and the only thing with pickle juice is that you're taking the chance of ruining your tan. Like if you even drip 1 ounce of water, much less pickle juice, your tan is going to run. So quick shot, and then that helps also just the nerves. Like it amazes you how much. And I'm not nervous at all before I go on stage. This is what I was made to do, and I still take that shot. And I'm like, "What's up? I'm here. It is what it is." So like,
Yeah.
I bring Fireball to all of y'all shows. If you ever want a shot, take it. It doesn't do anything except make it better, but it's not something you have to do.
Okay, cool. Because
Right.
everyone's like, you must take it. And I was like, I don't drink. I don't. No, thank you. I'm good.
No. Olivia, you have any questions about going into yours?
Not yet. I'm just kind of chilling
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm waiting. Like I'm in like a weird. It's like it's so manageable, and I'm like waiting
Yeah.
for it to like suck bad, and it doesn't. And so I
Right.
don't know. Again, it's like expectations versus like, well, like you said, outcome of the work's the outcome of the work. It's like, well, you're doing your shit. So like, if it doesn't suck, it just doesn't suck. Like you're
Well,
fine.
and
Right.
that's how I feel right now, like 5 weeks out.
Yeah.
And I'm like waiting for me to hit a wall. And I'm like, where is it? And I'm like,
Right.
I'm actually really enjoying everything that I'm doing.
Yeah. Totally
Yeah.
fine.
That's
Yeah. Like
like that's big, big, big. And I think about it every time I do your check-in, when I know that you're like Olivia, you're how many weeks out are you? 14? Maybe?
I think tomorrow's like 10.
Okay, 10 weeks out. And there are extremes that we could go to
Mhm.
to make things faster, but along with that would come depletion of muscle, like definitely for you. Like we're not so I guess the biggest thing is I try to take in consideration where you think because of social media you should be,
Mhm.
but also the reality of where the pace that we need to go. Because we're gonna get lean, but put your thing on mute. I think we're hearing like the dispatch.
Yeah. I was trying to mute the TV and the remote's not working. So I'm just.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're good. But yeah, that's what I try and dodge because it doesn't suck. Taylor, you could tell like it doesn't have to suck at least. So
It doesn't suck at all.
yeah, anticipating that it's gonna suck, and then you're like,
You
All
don't
right,
even
well,
feel like you're in prep half the time. I mean, yeah, there's days that you're like, meh, I don't have as much energy, but it doesn't
yeah,
suck.
I think that's the only thing that I've noticed, but I'm also like, I'm about to get my period. So that's definitely when like my energy drops anyhow. Like I'm used to that.
yeah,
So,
And I
um,
think you get this false perception because people are always like, oh, I'm in prep. I'm 10 weeks
Mm-hmm.
out. I've hit the wall,
Yes.
balls to the wall, like, nah, we just coast.
yeah.
Right.
Well, it's just
that
like,
makes me feel so much better. I'm really glad that we had this call tonight because I was just like, am I supposed to be like hitting something? And then it made me think like, am I doing something wrong? And I'm like, no, I've been literally so adherent to protocol. Like I've been checking my boxes daily. I literally have a calendar in my bathroom where I check them off and
yeah.
cross off the day. And so, okay, cool.
And the another big thing is and this is something just telling all y'all is if if you get to yourself to where you're like, I want to see a little bit more because I think that I should. That's something you can always tell me because I'm always gonna dance between what is healthy and then what is not healthy. And I'm always gonna be more on the healthy side. So therefore, like, and again, I'll just go using you, Olivia, as an example. But as a wellness
Mhm.
athlete, if I were to have you doing more cardio than you are with the
Mhm.
lifestyle that you have, then we're not going to
Yep.
show up with wellness bottom. There's
Nope.
no way. So
Right.
being able to make sure that y'all know I can come to Gracie if I feel like I'm not where I need to be, and I'm going to meet you where you are. I'm not going to say
Mm-hmm.
no, and I'm not going to say yes. Let's cut everything, but we're going to figure out what works here because what works here is what's going to help continue this and make it peaceful. Does that make sense? So I just wanted
Makes
for y'all
sense.
to know that you can always come to me if you feel like you're not where you need to be, and I'm either going to help you see where you are, and let's look at the options and let's make you choose. What do you feel confident doing right now? Because if you can do more, then that's one thing, right? But do you have to do more? No. Does that make sense? So just being able to make sure that y'all know that there's always room for that conversation with me, at least. Because we want to make it enjoyable. We also want to be successful as fuck. Okay. So we'll schedule a call in our with competitors and we can just go into the chat. I know I haven't been back into the chat, but Taylor, you're kind of like all y'all just keep chatting. Y'all all wondering the same thing. We all gonna win. That's the number one goal this year is win. Right? Yes. And then get all these other girls. Kirsten, getting her on board. Amy, get her on board. They can change their lives. Everybody's gonna make money and get fit as AF. Okay. All right. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow or maybe tonight. Thank y'all.
Bye, guys.